Living in the wilderness can be a challenging but rewarding experience. It requires a certain level of self-sufficiency and resourcefulness, as well as an appreciation for the natural world and willingness to adapt to changing circumstances. To begin with, living in the wilderness means being disconnected from many of the conveniences and luxuries of modern life. There may be no electricity, running water, or cell phone service. Depending on the location, there may be no access to grocery stores, gas stations, or medical facilities. This means that you must be prepared to provide for your own basic needs, such as food, water, shelter, and medical care. One of the first things you will need to do when living in the wilderness is to find a suitable place to live. This could be a cabin, a yurt or tent, or even a makeshift shelter that you build yourself. You'll need to consider factors such as access to water, protection from the elements, and proximity to resources such as firewood and wild game. Once you have a place to live, you will need to focus on gathering the resources you need to survive. This may involve hunting and fishing for food, gathering firewood for heat and cooking, and finding resources of clean water. Depending on the location, you may also need to build traps or snares to catch small game or forage for edible plants and berries. Living in the wilderness also requires a certain level of self-sufficiency when it comes to medical care. You will need to have a basic understanding of the first aid and be prepared to deal with injuries and illnesses on your own. This may involve carrying a well-stocked first aid kit, knowing how to set broken bones or treat infections, and knowing when to seek outside help. Another aspect of living in the wilderness is dealing with the isolation and loneliness that can come with being far from other people. While some people thrive in solitude, others may struggle with a lack of human interaction. It's important to find ways to stay connected to others, whether that's through a two-way radio, regular trips to town, or online communication. Living in the wilderness also means adapting to the changing seasons and weather patterns. In the summer, you may need to deal with heat and wildfires, while in the winter you will need to contend with cold temperatures and snow. You will need to prepare for these conditions with appropriate clothing, shelter, and equipment. Despite the challenges, living in the wilderness can be an incredibly rewarding experience. You will have opportunity to connect with nature in a way that's impossible in urban or suburban environments, and you will gain a sense of self-reliance and independence that's hard to find somewhere else. If you're considering living in the wilderness, be prepared to face challenges, but also be open to unique rewards that come with this lifestyle.